Hello， 大家好，我是温真菱，赶快订阅小公式，大大的世界从小小的开始。
Oh my gosh, there's a tornado.
疯狂的天气，飓风、暴雨、干旱、野火，全球正遭遇极端气候带来的灾难。我们的地球怎么了？为此，12位关心全球暖化现象的大人小孩，将兵分3路前进北极、帛琉、挪威，在暖化最前线，一探气候变迁的真相。
下课花露米，出发！
船在这边，好，这艘。
船出发！
来到帛琉，除了我们第一天探访的水母湖、鲨鱼城、乌龙水道，还有一个观光客必去的浮潜景点干贝城。这里的海域有许多大型的海中玫瑰、砗磲贝，据说它们的寿命可长达100年，而且最大能长到1.2公尺。不止如此，砗磲贝也是帛琉人的传统美食，因此观光和经济价值都很重要。可惜的是，因为人类过度捕捞以及海洋环境改变，砗磲贝的数量正在慢慢减少当中。你们来到这边有看到，觉得什么生物，海洋生物跟台湾的不太一样吗？
那个水母，黄金水母。
我们现在来到的这个地方呢，是我们想要理解海洋生物。你说的没错，就是砗磲贝。如果同样环境受到影响之后，它们要怎么生存？走，走。这里是帛琉政府成立的海洋养殖示范中心 （PMDC）。为了让砗磲贝的数量维持稳定，他们透过专业的养殖技术，人工培育砗磲贝苗后，统一供应给帛琉各地。
Ali, my name is Percy. I want to show you inside the hatchery what we have. This is the baby club. Yeah. Baby child club, baby club. It's about 10,000, 8 months. You can look inside with this looking glass, so you can see what's inside.
I think，因为它没有放大嘛，我没有感觉。
All the way to the
哦，是下去。
啊。
Percy 告诉我们，砗磲贝的生长速度缓慢，一年顶多长5到6公分。
This is already about 1 year old to 2 years old. This is already ready to go to the farm. 2,500 club for one farm. About 90% survive.
当砗磲贝的幼苗长到一定大小时 ，PMDC 会卖给帛琉各地的私人养殖场，由他们养大之后拿去做料理或观光等各种用途。而这些幼苗当然也是由 PMDC 养殖的大砗磲贝生产的。
The parents need to the club. Just be careful not to touch the shell because it's sharp.
好可爱哦。
你潜下去看的时候，他们会先缩起来嘛，然后缩起来之后，它就会慢慢张开，好漂亮哦！看到那个砗磲贝的颜色的时候，我就深深的被砗磲贝给着迷。我帮他们拍了非常多特写跟照片，还有录影。摄影师还开玩笑说：“你是不是拍的比我还多？”对。砗磲贝五彩缤纷的颜色，和珊瑚以及水母湖的黄金水母一样，都是来自体内共生的虫黄藻哦。要问它里面会有珍珠吗
She said there is pearl inside.
Is there a pearl?
She asked.
No, there's no pearl inside. It's only meat. It's only meat, club meat inside.
我就觉得那些砗磲贝其实我们看是觉得很漂亮，可是重点是他们为什么会在那边让我们看？
对啊，因为那本来不是他们的家，他们家自己是被我们人类破坏，所以他们才要绕过去那边。
所以我觉得看到那么多，我会觉得有点 伤心，因为他们本来不应该出现在那里。
孵育出成千上万个宝宝后，这些砗磲贝爸爸妈妈会准备回归美丽的大海。今天我们刚好有机会带几位到干贝城野放。
那我要
从下面拿。知道，当然。嗨，sorry。
马里宽，直落。
带走了。会中吗？不会中，拿起。拿起。
Oh sorry。
会喷水。
He's hungry. Let's go.
哎呦，我的妈呀！
吓到。
姐姐会很重吗？
拿起来有点重，我没有想到它这么的安心，它在最后一刻才吐水。对啊，把它当宝宝抱。
先下。
抵达目的地之前 ，Percy 顺道带我们来 PNDC 的野外繁殖场。毕竟室内养殖空间有限，大海才可以让砗磲贝好好的长大。
走喽。
那个不用给它泡。That cage have a fence and a cover to keep the other fish so they don't come to eat the very babies. Look, you see the baby clam? When you first put them, they're about this size. Now they already grow out to maybe 10 times the size we saw in the hatchery.
打开网子后，满满的砗磲贝映入眼帘。它们个个长得头好壮壮，甚至还有点挤。工作人员赶紧拿出水管，画出固定的区域，好计算这些砗磲贝的密度。接着还要测量大小。
Three things you need to do, most important. Name of the clam, the species, the number, and the size.
It's 20.6.
在海底测量是一个高难度挑战，不仅要适应水流的强度，也要注意不要撞伤了砗磲贝啊！
我觉得很有趣，对，困难，
超难量。
对，它的最长的点就很小一个，
Make sure the clam will like cannot.
而且还要小心不要让砗磲贝吃掉你的齿，但它等下咬住后拿不出来。
就在小队员专心测量时，我却不小心被海面上漂浮的小东西吸引，暂时脱队。
我赶快给你。
基友的罐子。
太大了。
就连一旁美丽的无人沙滩也有垃圾，我的净滩魂实在无法接受。
我的天哪！回去吧，一路往船前进。
最后，我们也从这个野外繁殖场挑选几颗长大成熟的砗磲贝，准备带他们到新家定居喽。
确定拿到？
哎呦，比刚才那颗还重。哎，放生喽！
大家同心协力装好砗磲贝，前往干贝城。作为帛琉重要的生态和观光景点，帛琉政府特别将这里划为海洋保护区，固定放养许多大型砗磲贝，也禁止野生捕捞，才能维护海中满满砗磲贝的美景。
This is the clam city. Then you're gonna release the 5 clam here.
为了安全考量，这次野放的任务就交给有自由潜水经验的我和卢卡。
他们那个干贝拿来了。
怎么干贝啊？
因为那个砗磲贝很重， 我也不用踢蛙鞋，我就直接被那个砗磲贝重量直接拉下去。然后那时候我觉得很开心，因为我可以让一个砗磲贝回到它原本的家里面，我很开心。
卢卡真的放很快，他就是抱到那个砗磲贝就立刻下潜，然后立刻放。然后我的很有仪式感，在觉得自己也差不多准备好的时候，然后就深吸一口气，然后闭气下潜，然后下到下面的时候就是拨那个旁边的沙，就是告诉他说，这里就是他接下来要常住的地方。然后放下去之后，就是还有跟他说个再见这样。亲手把砗磲贝送回海洋，真的有种说不出的感动。期望他们能在这片蔚蓝海洋里继续茁壮。接下来，我们要探索和砗磲贝一样，当海水升温，共生藻类无法存活，就会开始白化甚至死亡的生物——珊瑚。近年来，帛琉珊瑚多次发生严重的白化现象。为了对抗暖化，帛琉积极和许多国际组织合作，开启多方面的海洋保护计划。
Hello. Welcome to Biota. I am Manu.
这间来自美国的私人水产养殖公司 Biota， 专门开发观赏用海洋生物的人工养殖技术，希望借此减少野生物种被捕捞的可能。
So what we are going to do now is we are breeding these fish just to release them back on the reef and help the populations of Palau to recover. And we release thousands of these fish per year.
他们也和帛琉政府协议，定期野放臭肚鱼，它们能吃掉珊瑚礁上过多的附着藻，帮助珊瑚健康长大。
These guys are about 6 months old, but in about 2 years, they get to about 1.5 feet long.
We just ate 5 like 2 days ago.
But now you're going to release them back.
You're gonna get as low as you can in the water,
Wait.
dump the bucket, and then tilt. Okay? And they'll come out when they're ready. It's their first time in the wild.
好像有点怕怕的。
对啊，他们第一次出海，所以会紧张。是不是还抓到几只鱼？
How do you know that it's still alive if you put it?
Because we actually go on the reefs and we check the populations. And we have a DNA test. We know what fish was in Biota before.
Goodbye.
而珊瑚当然也是他们人工养殖的重点之一。
So here you can see so many different corals. Do you know what corals are? Are they plants? Are they rocks? That is correct. But only one animal or many?
Many.
Many animals. Yeah, because corals are colonies. Means in one single coral there is so many animals living in there. But what is amazing about corals that they are not only animals, they are also part plants. So they are living in symbiosis with a small algae. The algae lives in the skin of the coral. There is an animal part and a plant part living together, creating energy and growing. Also we have here 2 types of corals. You can take a coral like this and you see it's like a rock. It's hard. It's not, it's a skeleton. Yeah, you see. But if we take one of these, and
Will
you,
it sting?
it will not sting. If you touch this one, try to touch this one.
Like
It's soft. Okay.
他们这边的那个珊瑚的种类比我们那边多好多。我们那边的珊瑚好像软珊瑚会比较多。
But the difference is that the hard corals are creating a carbonate calcium skeleton.
I can understand.
Carbonate calcium is
CaCO 碳酸钙。
the corals are taking from the water from the reef. They are taking the calcium, and then they can create the skeleton and grow. And that's how we make the coral reefs. Corals that they are doing that are the hard corals. Soft corals cannot do reef.
硬珊瑚形成的珊瑚礁，对于海洋生态有不可或缺的重要性。各式各样的海洋生物在其中栖息，可以说是世界上生物多样性最高的生态系统。
So what
Yeah.
happened is this.
That is bleaching. We bring some that you can see because now the water is very warm in Palau. So there is actually bleaching starting. And that's how a coral looks when it's bleaching.
Happy coral, no happy human, and happy human, no happy coral.
But the thing is, they can be both.
珊瑚白化对海洋生态的破坏，相信大家都很清楚。面对这样的挑战，有些学者开始研究耐热的超级珊瑚。
Super corals are corals that when you go to the reef, you can see they are all bleaching, and suddenly one is healthy and happy. And it's like, why that happened?
Like Lion King?
Like Lion King, maybe. So what are we doing? Or what the scientists are doing? They are taking frags of those corals that they find, and they are called super corals, and they are planting them in farms like you are seeing here, because that coral, genetically, the DNA, make it stronger to survive, and there they are growing them to bring them back on the reefs and make reefs that they are super coral resistant reefs. And then when the heat wave comes, the reef will be fine. So now there are many scientists helping and pushing to create super reefs in the world, in Bali, in Australia, in Palau, just to have, even with heat waves, healthy reefs. Do you want to plant corals that we can put on the reefs? Yeah.
马怒告诉我们，他们正要进行一批软珊瑚的人工养殖工作。有这种难得的机会，我们当然不能缺席喽。
Be gentle, try not to press it very hard. Just hold it in your hands enough to stay over there. Take the toothpick and pierce it a little bit below. So after pierce, you twist a little bit, and after it's done, the way that we have to do is grab your plug, put it over there, when gently just touching. It doesn't have to be pressed, otherwise it would break. And wrap it up with a rubber band.
我就觉得很可怕，因为你要赋予一个东西，你还要把它刺一个洞。
Actually, a little bit bigger.
因为我们要刺珊瑚，就是竹签的时候，对，都是有点害怕的。但是想到它会逐渐的长大，长成健康的珊瑚的时候，就觉得好像可以去做做看，就是这件事情。
There's a hole in it.
It's gonna look like this, but with your name at the end. You're gonna write down this, Sarcophyton F1.
So F1 means generation?
First generation.
The first generation.
Yeah. All right, nice name. Forest F1, baptize your corals. So you can follow it, which is also done for scientific studies. This is how we do it. Piece number 1, F2, F3 to follow up. So in about 2-3 months, this coral is going to be attached by itself to the plug and actually a little bit bigger. At the same time, the mother we use to cut it is igloo again. So it's like doing a haircut. So in this way, we can do it sustainable over and over and over again without damaging the ocean. Yeah, congratulations. You just propagated a lot of coral today. Thank you, guys. That was good. I appreciate it.
人工养殖砗磲贝珊瑚是减缓它们逐渐消失的方法之一，但或许积极改善海洋环境才是最重要的。努力从事各种海洋研究的帛琉和台湾科学界也有交流。
你好，
我是啊。
你好，你好。
我叫温温。
中山大学的海洋碳汇专家洪庆章老师，目前在研究气候变迁对帛琉海洋生态的影响。他告诉我们，大气中二氧化碳增加，除了造成全球暖化，也会让海水酸化，导致海中生物更难生存。
大家有没有看到这个的后面有一个叫二氧化碳扩散器？当我们二氧化碳溶解的时候，会改变它的 pH 值，对不对？pH 值每一个单位是差10倍。
什么意思？
意思就是说，我们现在海水 pH 值从8降为7的时候，海水的酸度就增加了10倍，它就会让砗磲贝这个壳生长的时候的速度小于溶解的速度。意思就是说，我们只要一直喝可乐，你就觉得牙齿会酸。你想一想，你要生长出来，跟
它会越来越
溶解，
小，对不对？
它会越来越薄。
然后我那天在海边有捡到一个砗磲贝的壳，它是这么厚，这样，所以你能想象它如果它会从这么厚，然后变到完全没有壳，是蛮意外会这么 严重。
海水变酸，最先遭殃的就是砗磲贝、珊瑚这些钙化生物。但还好，这个困境并不是完全无法挽救。
那这个酸化有什么样的解方？
就是加碱性的东西进去。
对，
小苏打粉、碱性离子水
可以，但是
这么高就不能业配，不能业配。
你有钱吗？大自然呢？但是帛琉有一种，它就会提供很多碱性的物质。
海草。
对，这边我们来看一下，对，就这个。那我们现在这边有。
长得像葱哎，
我也觉得它长得像葱。
其实海草是很喜欢酸的。
所以二氧化碳，海藻在吸收二氧化碳的时候，它是觉得很舒服。
对，在高酸的环境下，它是赢者。它不像刚刚讲的砗磲贝、珊瑚，它可以提供碱性的物质，给珊瑚，给
大家互相帮忙，
大家可以互相帮忙。
除此之外，海草还是可以把二氧化碳储存在自己身上或海底泥沙里的固碳高手。
拿一个给你们看，它根长出来之后就把碳储存在里面，然后里面的30%是碳。
哇，好多。
对，所以代表这个就可以固碳。那固碳除了这个以外，这个叫固体的，看得到的哦。那你们要闻闻看这什么味道？臭鸭蛋像不像？这叫硫化氢的味道，就是海水中的硫酸盐被还原以后，这叫做溶解的有机碳。
哎，那个酸度就变低了。
对，所以它一直要行光合作用，把它的碳储存成固体的跟液体的碳，就会留在沙子里。所以科学家现在想要做的就是说，我们把二氧化碳变成树木，问题是全世界土地不够，那我们就可以动脑筋动到海洋上，因为海洋每一年吸收了全球排放二氧化碳的1/3。
是，基本上算是大顾客。
大顾客，大约是
股东啊。没错，大自然本身就有吸收储存二氧化碳的机制，而海洋是世界上最大的存碳仓库，这就是所谓的海洋碳汇。在海洋里，除了海草，包括大型海藻、红树林、盐藻，都是固碳大师。它们能将二氧化碳储存在植物体和近岸以及外海的底泥里好几百年，成效比陆地上的森林还要高，是很重要的蓝碳生态系哦。洪庆章老师等科学家这几年积极推动养殖大型海藻及维护海草生态等，就是希望协助海洋碳汇持续发挥作用，减少二氧化碳对地球的影响。
所以你们现在看到，你们已经都变种子教师了。
种子小助教啊。
对对对 ，You can come here.
Hope to see you guys soon.
Yeah.
No money.
No money. 我们可以假装。
他现在来这边还负债，因为他第一天就不小心踢破东西。
真的。
踢破镜子。
We have 17 students, right?
嗨，今天是来到帛琉的第5天，抱着那个砗磲贝下海的时候，有小小呛到几次海水，觉得蛮紧张的。但我觉得，身为一个总是能够开一段路程就能够到海边的我们，好像能够为我们的海做点什么小小的事情。我的感受啦，我会觉得那是一个充满活力、阳光的快乐的事情。我真的很喜欢在有空的时候去做些这样的事情，在过程中会觉得自己好像变得更加的茁壮、强壮一点。那就差不多要准备睡觉喽。晚安，拜拜。
像到了亚马逊。
No! Are you sure you don't want to get out here? This is super fun. You get to climb.
但我不知道怎么过去。Enjoy， 平衡感，平衡感。我真的好难走。
耶！我们是不是卡住了
You're gonna hit us! Bumper kayaks. Look at that ribbon root. Do you see the ribbon root?
它真的跟那个砧板一样。
And now there's a laser that's shooting out of my camera. Right?
好帅哦
Isn't that cool?
What do you think the rooster symbolizes?
Wake up.
The rooster represents the character of a chief who has to be the first one to wake up. They have to know what's happening in the village. The 10 chiefs in here are chosen by 10 women. If the men don't listen, a chief can be removed anytime if the women don't like them.